Hello, my name is Flaherty with the Global Landscapes Forum, and I'm here with Aziz Nurbekov, the National Project Coordinator and FAO representative in Uzbekistan. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
To start with, I was hoping you'd be able to give us a bit of background about the agricultural and landscape situation in Uzbekistan today, because as I understand, there's some issues relating to drought and wind erosion, which is affecting a considerable amount of agricultural land.
Yes. My name is Aziz Nurbekov. I am the National Coordinator of FOLUR project in Uzbekistan. If we talk about these landscapes in Uzbekistan, so we have a big problem of land degradation. So this land degradation, the cause of this land degradation is wind erosion and water erosion. So both type of erosion we do have, because all the arable land in our country is plowed. If you are tilling the soil, then you will have a soil erosion, and of course, if you have irrigating the land, and then you have also water erosion. And both type of erosion we have in Uzbekistan existing, and this land degradation is also decreasing soil productivity. So if we talk about the last data on this soil fertility, so soil fertility for the last 50 years decreased almost 50%. For example, so from 1.4 this humus content, now we have almost 1% of humus content in the soil. It means so 50% of our soil already lose this productivity because of this wind erosion and water erosion. These two types of erosion not only the case for land degradation. For the land degradation, we have also this soil salinity. Soil salinity also big problem in our country, because almost 50% of arable land is salt affected. So that's why in this case also we need different technological options to increase crop production. Here, and also we should think that about how we can produce without negative impact on land use.
Interesting. You mentioned that the need for alternative technologies and the need to explore new avenues to produce wheat in a more sustainable way. So perhaps you can tell us about what the government in Uzbekistan, and more specifically perhaps the associated FOLUR project, plans to do to address these.
Government of Uzbekistan also working on how we can stop land degradation. So recently the President of Uzbekistan adopted a new decree on rehabilitating land, arable land, decree on rehabilitation of the land. So in this case, the government of Uzbekistan also working on and finding different ways how to stop the land degradation, and in the future to increase the soil productivity. But in our project, we have also going to work, because the project is not fully started yet, but we are going to introduce new technological options for stopping land degradation. One of them is conservation agriculture practices. And so, as you know, in conservation agriculture practices, we have 3 principles. First principle is no-tilling, direct seeding. The second principle is crop residue retention. And then third principle is most important principle is crop rotation or crop diversification. Through these three principles, we can increase first crop production, then we can neutralize this land degradation, and then we also give for the farmers get more benefit of through while producing the crop, producing the crop.
So to get to where you need to be is going to be a large-scale transformation, and a transformation like that will always affect and involve people across the entire value chain of a commodity. Yeah. How are you planning on engaging each of the stakeholders to ensure the success of this project?
Yeah. So now this in Uzbekistan a lot of things are changing because new presidential decrees are already in place. So for the for privatization of this wheat sector, because before we had this state quota for cotton and wheat, and now this there is no state quota. Any farmer, any agriculture entity can grow any crop, but before these agriculture entities should produce only wheat or cotton because there is a state quota. But now this government eliminated this state quota. Now farmers are free to grow any crop. But in this case, very important thing is that crop rotation. So for the crop rotation, we need not only these different crops, but we need good marketability of these crops. So for the marketability, we need different stakeholders, starting from the farmers, then this how do you call processing, and also this the dealers, or who can take or buy the product and sell it in the market. So now there is also we have a cluster system. In the cluster system, we have these farmers and clusters who are processing for example, wheat, and then after the processing, they can sell this wheat flour in the market. So we are also going to work with the farmers and also with the clusters, and then with with the market also, because sometimes the price of wheat can be changed from the region to region. So in this case, we need to very carefully that farmers get always profit while producing the wheat crop.
Okay. So coming back to the transition to no-till farming and crop rotation, but also developing this whole value chain for wheat, for example, what are some of the biggest challenges that you face or that you think you will face once the project is implemented?
It's a difficult question. We are facing a lot of problems now. The first problem is adoption of no-till farming, because if we analyze the adoption of no-till worldwide, so who are the champions? The champion countries are producing no-till drills. But in case of Uzbekistan, we don't have a production of no-till drills. So that's why we are lagging with adoption of no-till. So in this case, we are facing with equipment. So under this FOLUR project, so we have some activities which we are going to buy no-till drills from Brazil, or I don't know, from Argentina, because we will buy these no-till drills with the tender. So that's why we don't know exactly who will be a supplier of these no-till drills. But after receiving these no-till drills, we can also make our own no-till drills in Uzbekistan. So project can help to produce no-till drill in Uzbekistan. Through this, we can also speed up the adoption of no-till. In the market, in wheat production also we have some problems related to marketability. Because what we are producing, in some cases we can also exporting to neighbor countries wheat, but at the same time we are also importing wheat grain from neighbor countries. So in this case, the good quality of milling system also is needed. So in order to get a good high quality of wheat flour and to sell it to these neighbor countries, we need a good quality milling system. So that's why this is the second challenge. And also so we can also work with not only big farmers. We will also work with these householders who are holding the backyards. So because some of these project sites located in the remote areas where the farmers doesn't have do not have access to good quality of equipment. So sometimes if there is this winter time, they cannot go come from the mountain area to these flat areas. So that's why maybe they can stack with the snow. So that's in this case they need a small scale wheat processing equipment. So that's why the project we are going to buy the small scale milling equipment for this small scale farmers. So while during the winter time they can also use this milling and then produce wheat flour for their own consumption. This is also one of the challenges which we can face during the implementation, because sometimes there is no electricity. So that's why we are going to buy this solar panel, and so they can use this this renewable energy to process this wheat flour.
Fascinating. That sounds like a really interesting project to have that kind of value added at the production level.
Value chain,
yeah. Great. To finish off, is there anything else that you'd like to mention about the project, or perhaps your hopes for it going forward?
I can also give some background information about the project.
Certainly.
So our project, the budget of our project is $6 million. This is the Jeff financed project, and so the co-financing is about $64 million from the Uzbek government, some these clusters, and we have three this project sites. One is this in Karakal, Pakistan, where the Aral Sea based, and Kharizm, and the third is Kharizm province, and third is in in Kashkadarya, where mostly we have facing problems is the drought. So Karakalpakstan and Khorasan we are facing with salinity, their drought. So that's why we have three project provinces we have, and also we have different stakeholders, starting from this small household holders, and then farmers and Deccan farmers. We have different farmers there, and then we have clusters. We have processing these entities, and also we have two national partners. One is Minister of Natural Resources. The second is Minister of Agriculture. So all our activity will be implemented by two ministers. So we are very happy that so we are working with the Minister of Agriculture and also with the Minister of Natural Resources, because Ministry of Agriculture is mostly responsible for crop production, while Natural Resources, so they responsible for biodiversity, or they are responsible to protect nature, our nature. So that's why, in this case, both ministries will help us to get a successful project, and so we can also hope that we can achieve all the project outcomes in time.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you for taking the time to talk, and thank you for explaining a bit about your project.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.